it looks like I was in line to get a perm and then fell into a vat of oil. Or lard. Or vegan lard. Vegetable oil. Or vegetarian oil. Canola oil. You alright, Brandon? Yeah, he's alright. He's doing good. I'm just reassuring myself that he's doing alright, even though I don't know. That's right. I know about the mints. I know about all the mints. That's right. Every single mint. Inside of people's mouths. Hiding, making things taste different than they actually are. Because they long for a time when they used to be able to eat it all. Now they're in retirement homes and their homes, and CNA nurses go there every single time, and they don't smell exactly the way they want them to. But old people don't get that. Because they constantly had unresolvable demands. Not indiscriminate demands, not terrible, terrible demands, just unresolvable demands. They wanted everything to work on the same server. They wanted Netflix and TV on the same kind of thing. So they got the home channel. They wanted freaking a whole bunch of stuff on the same server. So they got a bunch of stuff on the same server, and then they worried and complained about connection problems. Connection problems were terrible. They've always been terrible. But they didn't understand they were working everyone and all the people that actually did that stuff to the bone. Because people, when they get angry, they type faster or they type harder. And old people don't understand that because they never used computers or ever tried to use computers or ever wanted to use computers because they thought that everybody else did that. And then that's the reason why the New Deal in 1979 was like, hey, they might be hiding something. It's just like, oh gosh, do it all on a guess. Yeah, definitely, all on a guess. You know why? Because I want money. Don't waste time playing video games, helping your cognitive abilities and building up your hand muscles to let you do some of the most amazing things that you've ever thought that was ever possible. don't become surgeons and a whole bunch of different things and actually revolutionize the way that people actually do surgery, because that's the reason why they got good at it, because they played Pong and a whole bunch of different cool games that they thought was really cool, when in actuality it was like, you should probably start playing Pitfall, because Pitfall is very accurate, you know? Play Pitfall. Play Pitfall. Play Pitfall. Play it. It's good. It's a good game. And also, the one that's funny is the one with the dude that says Mike Ruba. And I can't see this dude. Awesome. Great. Great. He shot through a wall. That was great. That made me feel much better, is he shot through a wall. I do believe he just did that. Yes. Alright. Suspicion of verbal harassment. Obviously, that's cheating is not a thing, so we're just going to go with verbal harassment now. Because we want money. Lots and lots of verbal harassment happened in Mississippi, and that's why they don't get tourism a lot. Verbal harassment. Lots and lots of verbal harassment. I was about to take myself off of the server, and that's the reason why we don't go to certain places. Alright? We don't go to places where people invest money a bunch. You know why? Because you want to go where people are good. You want to go where people actually give people a chance to win and have a good time. You know? Have a great time. And I'll have a great time going to Arizona, because I'm tired of all these stupid problems constantly and utterly I'm facing, because there are a lot of people that just don't know, and they don't know because they never knew, because they never knew at all. You know why? Because they don't. Because they don't and they won't. And they won't and they don't. And they won't and they still won't, because they won't. Because they're stupid. And I don't like them. Awesome. Because everyone seemed to have a problem with my dad and my mom and all my friends and all my freaking family, basically, until they died, and then they were like, oh, sorry, oh, darn. And then that's basically neither here nor there. But you should know is just, I fucking knew. I fucking knew. I made it here, on my own, pretty much on my own, without anyone's help. Pretty much. People gave me clues. I got here. It was great. I hitchhiked on a dream, on an imagination, teleported through a wall, and almost fell on a table, but we'll just leave it to that, because obviously people don't really like, tables, They don't like tabletop games. But they don't understand that it helps your cognitive abilities and your problem-solving skills. But hey, if you don't want that, if you don't want to be able to create scenarios and look through possibilities and see what possibilities are there, stuff like that, and understand that if they do certain things, they can be able to get certain stuff. So it's kind of like a video game, if you think about it, but it's just real-world consequences. So realize that, and also understand that people don't like old people because they acted like everything was terrible and horrible, and everyone did terrible things. But understandably so, they didn't do those terrible, horrible things. That was just an overlapping thing that old people saw because they were using foresight. That's the reason why, when you play tabletop games and work that part of your brain, you can actually see into possibilities. Because it's true, it's not a mutation, and it's actually a thing that most humans actually have the ability to do. That's the reason for a lot of paranoia. People don't understand that either. But they're not going to, because they want exorcisms. They want to exercise and think about their bodies all day long. They want to think about their bodies and not their brains, even though it's a part of their body. A lot of sarcasm in that sentence, but hey, you know what? So, we're just going to keep on keeping on. I'm not going to go with any sort of thing. I'm just going to go with verbal harassment. That's what I'm doing. If I see any cheating, if I see any assholes that try to hide their position and then shoot me from behind a wall, or shoot me in a different direction and then try to make me look around all the fucking time, we are going to go into the quarry. Because you can't cheat in the quarry. That's why I like it. You can't cheat there. Because everyone can see you. Everyone. All the time. No matter what. All the time. Don't care. Ah, darn. when you're doing that, when you're doing all that stuff. They change the servers every once in a while, get people off those servers, and stop cheating, and they glitch it out and stuff sometimes. So that's actually really fun to do. It's really fun. And they like doing it because it makes those dudes think twice before they actually use those cheats again. And it's actually a fun thing because I need a gun because this dude's coming in. Alright, we're going in this way. There we go. Getting in, getting in, getting in. Oh, you sons of beaches. That's right. And then, that's the reason why all that happens is because I am stressed out. Stressed out sometimes. I get stressed out. And then you do this. Because I know that my arms need muscle. Because a lot of people, they like to tell me that I'm aching somehow. I don't know why. I don't know why they do that. I don't know why they want to do that. But hey, who cares, right? Awesome. Right, who cares? Because it doesn't matter. I don't care. Whatever. So, that's the reason why a lot of people don't go to Mississippi, because they are mean, evil. They're not evil. They're okay. They're alright. They're just really cool peeps. They're awesome. They're cool and awesome. I think when it comes down to it, like, people don't understand that, like, you can't skip a generation. You can't skip an era. Like, you can't just go to a different place and act like that the place that you came from doesn't exist. Like, you know, you can't. But then, in the same sense, people are, like, they look for that shit and they try to, like, go up against it all the time. And they're like, yeah, you have guns or you have knives or something like that. Just don't use them all the time, you know? You don't have to use them. You don't have to. It's just, you don't have to. You don't have to use them against a zombie or a small animal. Yes. Usually, a lot of people don't realize this, is attacking animals outright or attacking them at all causes, what's the word? Other animals to be on guard because they usually see that. Because animals can communicate somewhat like people. It's not exactly the same thing if you look at it, but it's more like, what's the word? Inherent reflex. So when, like Bambi and stuff like that, sees his mom getting shot, or hears his mom getting shot, or something like that, they hear those noises and they associate that with losing something. So a lot of times when they hear those noises again, they'll get really angry, or they'll get really pissed off, or something like that. A lot of animals do that, and a lot of deers have some of the same stuff that, like, lizards do and stuff like that, and a lot of, yeah. Like right now, so it's like the evolutionary traits aren't getting, like, better per se, but they're getting more responsive early on sometimes, and people really don't understand that sometimes. So you have to kind of, like, slow things down and be like, okay, watch this. This animal steps here, this animal steps there, that animal steps there. They see something, they hear something, and then something bad happens to one of them, and then they see that, and so they see something again, they see something another time, and they expect that one thing to completely and utterly, so they see a person and they run, or they see a person and they fight, or they see a person and they just, like, pee themselves or something like that, or and then they run. So, like, a little bit. They're not really, like, it's like a millisecond of pee. So that's the reason why they do that. Like, they but also too, they pee a little bit to be able to smell that and remember that. To remember that running, like that running away. They don't just, like, pee themselves for, like, oh, I peed myself because it's funny. No, as they pee themselves because they're remembering that moment right there. They're remembering the moment that they did that, or the moment that they saw that. And when the moment that they saw that, they start running around and acting like they're not even thinking or hearing or anything. They're just, like, cognitively trying to get away from whatever that thought is. It's like the gay joke when Tom Cruise was on Family Guy, whenever Tom Cruise was around, he's like, you can't get me gay thoughts. That was happening. It was funny because it's an animal evolution, but if we go back to those states, sometimes we gain back those abilities to be able to run away from our thoughts, almost. Not really run away from our thoughts, but to hide them in the darkness and realize that they're not actually the things that we think they are sometimes. But it's just cognitive abilities, things that people actually think about and stuff like that. So a lot of therapy goes a long way. A little bit of therapy goes a long way, and a lot of people don't realize this. Is there are a lot of times when people think that there's some sort of vision quest you have to go on to be able to actually become a man or become responsible in some way and see something in your life and realize a place where you were. But that's not me. Like, I don't go on those vision quests. I don't like to, because it's more like just like me trying to give to charity without any money, you know? All right. So that basically is me, kind of trying to give to charity without any money, just picking up leaves off trees and throwing them on the ground. So you gotta smell them first. You gotta tear them apart, smell them, see if it smells like throw up, because if it smells like throw up, then somebody threw up on the trees, and they shouldn't have, because trees remember things like smells, tastes, things like that. So if it smells sweet, then it means your plant isn't trying to kill you. Yeah, it means your plant isn't trying to kill you. But that also means that it won't be spicy. Like old people can relax and realize that their pepper trees are going to be sweet and very good. So realize that. If it smells sweet. If it smells like a tanginess or a bitterness, then it's usually something that'll actually give you like a sour apple or something like that, or or a pepper or something like that. Because a lot of times they don't worry about humans as much. They mostly worry about bugs and things that they can't protect against, and that's the reason why they make those flavors and stuff like that. They don't taste anything. They taste the roots and the different flavors that the earth has to give. So if somebody threw up in their plant or planter, that's probably the reason why. Basically, plants in a field are like a hive mind, if you think about it, because they're all root systems. They're all basically connected, and they all feed off most of the same thing. So that's the reason why it's like the fakest hive mind you've ever seen. So they all do the same thing in the same area. Like if you plant something or put something in the ground, it'll actually taste like that when the roots come out. That's really cool and it's really awesome. But they don't understand that. Like putting the same kind of experimenting in the Amazon. That's basically what they were doing, I think. So whenever they were doing chopping down those trees, is they were trying to see what kind of stuff was underneath the ground, what kind of soil, the density, and a lot of different trees there. And that's the reason why a lot of people don't realize it's like no, it wasn't for people to make playgrounds in the Amazon, because basically it was for people to understand whether or not it's actually healthy to live there. It's mostly experiments. So it's the reason why a lot of people in protest groups don't really understand things, and then people start making money for no reason because they stop people from getting to the information. But I know the information because I follow stupid patterns, and I'm able to see through other people's bullshit. It's also a gift of foresight. And it comes with age, and it doesn't come with anything else, because you usually have to trust your parents when they tell you that guy over there is not the person who he says he is. Oh, heard gunshots. Lots and lots of gunshots. So most of the time, I think that people really think that they're like really, really about something. Like they're really like hardcore into miniature figurines, and then they don't realize that like a bunch of people actually did do that, like in the olden days, and they realized it didn't go anywhere, and that's the reason why their kids freaking make movies and shit. So I mean, there are a lot of times where, I mean, there are a lot of times where people don't realize that a lot of stuff that they do is like I don't know, it's just really really counterintuitive sometimes. People think that there's like some like secret to it all or something like that, or they think that there's some sort of like, you know, I don't know what it is. It's just they think that somehow they'll win, and then they're like, whoa, charity, and it's like, no, don't believe that. When a person who says charity, it's dumb. Don't believe that. All right, we're gonna go right here because this dude is right there. I shouldn't have done that. I should have just stayed up top. That would have been... I wanted it to be dramatic, though. It was really cool. That's why I'm going to practice these dumb moves on a whole bunch of games that don't allow for, like, anything, because it's fun to do, and it's hilarious for people to watch it and be like, oh my god, I just did a backflip off that thing and shot that guy! So... with a syringe filled with vitamin C. Oh man. People could barely freaking see past some of that stuff sometimes. I mean, I've seen different people in the way that they act sometimes, and it's just, or the way that they do things, and it's like when you see certain things, when you understand that like people need certain things, and that's not doesn't mean they're disabled. That's the reason why it gets to me. Like a bunch of different crazy World War II veterans were like somehow being convinced by these idiots that because you need something different, you're disabled. It's just like because you're kind of sensitive to light and not really sensitive to light, then that means that you're taking the wrong medication, or you're like, it could mean you have like an autoimmune disorder, because people don't realize that autoimmune disorders can happen anywhere. Like it's not just like anything that like, it's really not. Like it's like I don't get a lot of people sometimes they think that. And also, what is the fascination with Mercury? I really don't get it. Like I really don't get the fascination with Mercury. I don't get the fascination with lead. Is it like a freaking temperature gauge or something like that? Because that's not exactly Mercury. Like, yeah, I don't get that at all. Like, really. It's mostly sensors basically, and they don't realize that Mercury has absolutely nothing to do with that, and can actually throw off your sensors most of the time, and give you false readings or false positives, and the whole checking your baseline for radiation is literally the thing that's inside of it. So it's like, yeah. So because Mercury actually, I think a lot of people don't realize this is. Mercury can actually like contain radiation most of the time, but it's a liquid, so it'll move around a lot, so it's like not really that great. Like, yeah, but like most of the time though, I think that people don't realize that when you fight zombies with rainbows, you make them happy. And then if you make them happy, then they get angrier and they want to run, like, and run around. Don't make zombies happy. It's what I don't do. It's what I don't do at all. I don't make zombies happy. We're gonna talk about what makes me angry. What it makes me angry. Let's see. Let's see here. Those weird dolls from the 1950s make me angry. They don't make me scared. They don't make me happy at all because I don't like their stupid porcelain faces. Oh, he had a shotgun. All right. They don't make me scared at all. They don't make me glad or happy. Those little dolls from the 1950s make me so angry. You know why they make me angry? Because there are a lot of people in the 1950s that got radiation poisoning because of shit that the people did in experiments. Radiation that spread throughout America that they never reported on, and a lot of different people that actually succumbed to it and didn't realize it at the time. But when Nixon came in, he was actually in a bunch of shit, and he was thinking that the Democrats, or that a faction of the Democrats, and this is Watergate, basically, were siding with Russians or communists to be able to overthrow the American party because there were a lot of bad things happening and no one could explain it. No one could explain it. People were getting cancer and sick and dying, and then, like, immediately. Like, it was really bad. And that's the reason why I know that at some point in our freaking lives that we're going to experience a lot of different... what's that word? That's the Umbrella Corporation symbol. And that's the reason why I put things on my arms. It's the reason why I like it, because it has a lot to do with what the state of everything is. And the realization and the reason for that is because people don't get that there were a lot and are a lot of radiation pockets in America and Northern America, and it has nothing to do with what America did or anything anyone did at all, because there were a lot of people that tried to make excuses for it and a lot of people that wanted to get paid for it, for like finding that information, but that's what actually stopped a lot of people from getting the cures and things that they needed on time. And that's fucked up and stupid, and I hate those people that actually make that happen. So we're going to make sure that they don't get anything. So they, as in the people who constantly tried to cover everything up and ruin every information, and then ruin experiments and ruin people and a whole bunch of different stuff. Nothing to do with any regular civilians. They were mostly just like assholes who thought that people had certain opinions because of certain radiation poisonings. And that's basically a conspiracy theory that makes no sense whatsoever, and actually made no sense whatsoever, or put someone there, like put someone there. Like you put someone there, and then you think that person is angry because of the radiation poisoning. It's like, no, they're angry because you put them there. Okay, that's the original reason. If you come up with a different reason, you're basically murdering that person. So, realization of the fact is that no, a lot of people in California that were originally from like Mexico and Canada and a whole bunch of different areas and stuff like that, they didn't realize that these pockets of radiation actually existed. They didn't realize these pockets of radiation existed. They started eating from a bunch of stuff, eating from the land, taking from the carrots and mushrooms and stuff like that, stuff that would usually not be poisonous. But that's the reason why I think that a lot of people don't realize how good of a movie is whatchamacallit, what's the word, what's it called, the Ballad of it's a cowboy movie, but it's done by the Coen brothers. The Ballad of Buster Scruggs. Yep, Ballad of Buster Scruggs. And it's actually a good movie to me because it explains what and how the gold miners actually went through, because they went through a lot of pockets of what they would think was radiation, and they would think they're going crazy, and their mind would trick them into thinking that. But also too, some dudes that actually did do that were actually crazy because of the radiation. They weren't bad people. They weren't bad people at all, but they went through a lot of different radiation poisonings, and it changed their personality. So they went from being like a God-fearing Christian or something like that to like a gun-toting crazy person. So that's what happened to a lot of dudes, and that's the reason why a lot of times people don't realize that Vietnam and a bunch of different places actually had those pockets of radiation, and they should be probably trying to figure out those contracts right as we speak, because that's not a guess. There were actually pockets of radiation they tried to cover up with what they saw was Agent Orange, and they tried to cover it up as much as possible, and it got on the soldiers, and it's actually an attractor, probably was an attractor of radiation at the time. And that's fucking crazy shit, but it's real, and it's the truth most of the time. And they should understand that, because that's the reason why a lot of times people don't get those things at the VA, because they can come up with an excuse that say that, there wasn't a thing or anything like that. There wasn't there's no conclusive radiation processing equipment. And it's just like, yeah, that's the reason why they didn't put it there. Because they were afraid that it was going to get, not stolen. They were afraid that it was going to get information that read back to them, because they were trying to kill a bunch of people who they thought were running drugs in the industry. And that's the reason why, because they're assholes. But that's the reason why in the 70s I was not born, because I chose not to be born. No, I didn't choose not to be born. A lot of people were into it. Like, they were just, yeah. I didn't choose not to be born. That was not my thing. So, but a lot of times though, people didn't realize that those things existed most of the time. There were people who didn't realize, because information wasn't readily available, and that's the point. Is everyone thought they were going to run out of food, and that had a lot to do with a bunch of decisions that people would make and people would actually have. And then came the double agent series and all that other shit, and people just weren't even caring anymore. They were just kind of like, it's ready to go, and we're ready to go, and all that other things like that. They just didn't realize that a lot of food was available, and it's still available. And it's just, sometimes people don't realize that what they do is they don't realize that a lot of times those filtration systems that they have, they work, but the only reason why they work is because there's certain organisms in the water that are actually helping people, and with stomach viruses, things like that, and a lot of people don't think that they'll make it through this kind of like weird process. But my dad was afraid of needles. My dad was very afraid of needles. He did not know if he was strong enough. He did not know if the needle was strong enough, because he lived in the 70s and he thought that all needles were actually just hair-thin things, and he saw probably a couple of Star Trek spoilers, and that made him think that a bunch of things were the way they were for a reason, or got afraid that something meant something else. And I think that a lot of times though, they didn't realize that they were being given like free gift cards to a bunch of different stuff, and a bunch of different walking around credits, and a bunch of different things that people were supposed to actually give because they went through a horrible situation, like the freaking people in Syria. It just,
It could be a black guy in a black clothing. It don't have to be me and you. You could be the guy.
but I think that a lot of times people think that stuff should have stayed silent, I guess, and they should have got money for it. But I mean, you're not going to get like a lot of things for it once it actually comes out. It's usually for those people who actually need to save lives, and a lot of times that stuff doesn't get to the place that it needs to be, just because of certain people and certain things not realizing that the information made sense, or something like that, or they didn't realize it because they hadn't studied it in a while, or something like that, and they didn't study up on certain things, or that's the exact same thing they didn't study on because they all thought that robots were trying to kill them, I guess. I don't know. And it's not robots, it's usually other humans or other creatures. I think animals, actually, that's the reason why they don't evolve now a lot, because they're too afraid that people will find them, I guess, and kind of like, and when they do evolve, they're afraid that someone will come get them and put them off to somewhere else. And a lot of times I think that's the case of like a bunch of different animals that have been in shelters, and they right as they decide to be the thing that they want to be, they get shipped off to somewhere else. And I guess that's more sad than anything else right now for me. And not to say that I don't care about people, but I mean, I'm talking about some sad shit, so it's like it has a lot to do with people dying. It has a lot to do with people who were gonna get and adopt animals that were just like completely torn apart by the plague and a bunch of stuff like freaking yeah, and radiation poisoning that they didn't even see coming, and then yeah. And a lot of times it's hard to be able to get that stuff through to tell people that it would mean a lot to like freaking like, not like just the food or anything like that, but just like good vibes, you know? And not just like good vibes, but like a certain frequency of vibes that will help people be able to make themselves better, and and realize that they all have 23 chromosomes, and at least this generation does. A lot of times I think the most people should actually understand something is try to understand it all the way through, you know? And don't try to like nitpick and think that that something is going to be there when it's not. And oh man, just because hoping and praying never meant anything to me. Not because of anything that happened, but because I knew that when I was a kid I'd be taken care of. I knew that because my parents were there, and even when they were apart, they were still there for me. So I guess I don't have that like that whole thing, so I can't relate to a bunch of people a whole lot. So, but it doesn't mean that there's like that's wrong or that's terrible for like to not be able to. And I was trying to go past him when he freaking ran out of bullets, but he caught up with me. So. Most of the time, bleh! Most of the time I see myself trying to come up with better designs and try to come up with better stuff, and like just trying to make it and just trying to be there and stuff. So for people I know didn't have everything, and I just, it's not charity, it's just me being emotionally supportive. So I get angry sometimes. I get amazingly angry, like so much so that my friend Brandon will go flick a glass or something. But that's the most part. I think I just decided to be normal after a while, and more angry I got, the more fuel I got, but the more I realized that it would just created problems, and it created different things that people had to come back from, and it just made me feel like I didn't have that much in the world, and it made me feel like I didn't have anything here, and it still makes me feel like I don't have anything here, but as far as paranoia goes, it still doesn't make me feel like I hate everyone or something like that. But I don't. I actually don't. I just had some weird experiences, and I don't hate everyone in Mississippi. I don't. I really don't. There's some really nice people that know how to make some really fantastic jokes, and they're really funny people, and they actually do care about most people. They just can't have they don't have the time to deal with a lot of people's problems. It's because they forget, and they freaking, they get angry, or they get like messed up, or they think that everyone's out there to get them or something like that, or they use those excuses because because they're just actually really happy that they get to mess with everyone, or mess with their friends, or have fun with their friends, and make more friends. So I'm just mad because I look like a old freaking what's the word? Strip club DJ. An old strip club DJ. They called him Santa Claus. He was German and Irish. Shit. A lot of people didn't know that, and they thought he was Russian. So he just looked like a lot of Russians. What happened? I don't know. It's crazy. It's not crazy. It's genetics. Everyone needs to stop being racist in Europe. Up against Americans because we came from somewhere else. We're aliens. That's inconsiderate. It's very inconsiderate, and I won't say that again, as long as they don't say that tea is better than Monster Energy drinks, because it's not. Compensated for the shotgun. And a full-time scope on the... I don't need a 4-time scope for the... I just get a red dot sight. Alright, so... most of the time when I think I'm ready, or I'm ready to go, or I'm ready to do something fun, a lot of stuff gets in the way. I want to hang out with my friends, but I'm afraid that I'm afraid that they won't accept me sometimes. And they don't have to accept me or anything like that, but they won't like joke around with me or something like that because they think I'm too intense or something, I guess. I don't know what that means, I guess. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what that means, but I just think that a lot of times I'm kind of left to the lone wolf kind of thing because I don't get validation in society right now. Yeah. The more I think about it, though, the more I'm just like, whatever. Prank War 2019. And the game. The game is gone. The game is in. The game is on, and the game we're playing right now is PUBG. Because it is awesome. And also great. And also amazing. And they should have known it. They should have known that it was part of them. PUBG. Ah, it's wonderful days, beautiful times. Wunderbar. 6x scope, even better. And we're gonna put the lightweight grip out, and then we're gonna not do that. Alright, so. So, a lot of times I think that people don't realize is they're indeed in need of some just easy listening tunes. And I recommend 101.9 and 104.9 for some classical amazing beats that people really, really do copyright, and you should pay them for if you ever actually do, yes, use any of their beats, because that's the reason why, they get all that stuff, and they usually get all those things. If you rip something from a classical song, realize that that's the reason why you got sued. So that, realize that. And also, don't try to use classical music to make people feel afraid of something, because then there's always that ending, and it's just like, what happened? Are you serious? Are you doing that? Are you freaking doing that? They're doing classical music? Yeah, they're playing a lot of bars play classical music underneath their stuff for a lot of to relax people, because they like the tones and the different things. A lot of music uses classical music for a really long time. They have no idea they do that, but they use them for beats and a lot of different things, and they should probably pay those people now, because some writers are actually the entire orchestra. They actually made it like that, and they all own the rights to it. So if you hand them $1 or a pizza, they're probably not going to accept it. But if you go to court and say, I'm here to pay someone for using their rights, for using those rights against classical music that I played when I was trying to trick Joe into believing that he was in a war zone. Then realized that Prank War 2018 turned into Wedgie War 2019. Or 2018 and a half, people would like to say. So, what? Are you serious? How did he turn by me? Oh, he's such a little friggin' right? There are a lot of problems with this game that I see sometimes, that I notice, and people who don't do their movements like that. People who shouldn't do their movements like that, because it's very, very, very off-putting when people can actually move like that and stuff. What did he do with his gun? He friggin' ah! He did a bunch of stuff with his gun. He did stupid things. He thinks that everyone thinks that I'm a zombie somehow or something. I'm he didn't make it, did he? He didn't make it. That's not right. What time is it? It's 9:17. Ha! Turns out the girl that I had sex with had a fake ID telling me that she was, younger than she said she was. I don't know why she did that. Maybe she wanted to appeal to me or something. That's the whole reason why it ended, though. So, it's probably her mom didn't like her that much after that. She still likes her, because she got a baby with a dude her age. Yep. Mostly. So, wonderful times. I have a great time, and I am on energy drinks. Energy drinking it up. That's what I do. Energy drinks and cigarettes. That's what I do, because I'm going to get a rental car, and I'm driving to Arizona. Woo! As far away from Jessica Negra as possible so I don't weird her out or anything. Or try to mess with her boyfriend that I think is actually a really nice guy if you give him the chance, because she told me from something, I don't know if it's her Instagram. Is it her Instagram? Maybe it might be her Instagram. Go talk to them and stuff. And Darshell Stevens and a bunch of other chicks who are on my Instagram. Oh, what is that? It's Zachary Levy. He's a good guy. He's a good guy. He dances like he's crocheting. It's really great. It's a bunch of games on here. I'm saying things without actually asking people, but I'm making fun of them because it's funny. It's gonna be great. So, there we go. Having a good old-fashioned time with the thing and stuff. Things and stuff, and my room is an absolute mess. I feel so paranoid about those levees. That's the reason why I want to move to Arizona, because no one will tell me about what they put in the levees. Explain me that. Explain that to me, and then give me a rental car, and I'm gonna drive to Arizona. And I'm gonna buy a house with a secret. And then I'm gonna buy an HQ underneath my house, because you can have basements there. It's so amazing. I love basements. I don't want its windows. I don't want to see the outside sometimes. It's annoying. I want to work on my own schedule. That's what I want to do. I don't want to work on anyone's schedule. I already know how to do a bunch of stuff. My dad's been trying to train me for a bunch of production stuff when I actually did things that were similar to that. Very similar. I know how to make paper mache. I know how to make plaster Paris. I know how to make gum stick to the side of a car. Already chewed gum. See? I threw it too. It stuck to the side of the car. How did that happen? Who knows? Could be I have powers. I can throw things really, really far sometimes. Like javelins. No. I don't think anyone wanted to see me curve the javelin. Oh, gosh. That's terrible. I'm not a bad person. Oh, my gosh. I think that's why my coach wasn't cheering me on. I am talented, I think. No, I know I'm pretty talented. Very talented. Son of a bitch. I'm gonna cut this dude up. Where's he at? Where is he freaking at? There he is! God dang it! I saw him too. But I don't acknowledge that I saw him. And that's the true merit of a video game person. That's what I do. I do man stuff. That's what I do. And I wear necklaces that look like headphone wires. Who knows what it is? It could be. Where is it? The keys to that one room. I know these aren't the actual keys, but the keys to that one room in John Cusack's movie High Fidelity. You ever think that like people like if immortality was a real thing, which I'm sure it probably is. I'm sure it is. I'm sure that it's a real thing. But if people who are trying to figure that out try and figure out other things, what do you think they try to figure out? What do you think they try to figure out? Do you think they try to figure out that they're the best people ever? I was like, I didn't get that part in the movie where Bruce Willis is crawling through the vents and he starts talking to himself. Like, have you ever seen that part? Like, he's like, hey, go to Vegas, go to things, go to Arizona, because people are, yeah, go to whoever, go to things. That's like the voice in my head right now. It's really bad. And, go to a Christmas party, everybody have a good time. It's like, imagine people actually listening to the mob and what they do. Like, they're like trying to talk to themselves, but just trying to like talk into their cup. It's like, yeah, go to the thing that you're going to, do the thing that you're doing. People aren't gonna like you here. They don't like you. They don't like you. They don't even want to be around you. Nope. Stop it. Stop trying to give me a lap dance. Stop it. Stop trying. Nope. Do not serve me drinks. I am a terrible person. If you gave me $1, he should be giving you 20. That's it. You don't deserve just $1. You deserve to be everything. You are everything. Oh, is there? I'm talking to my lighter right now. I'm gonna like saturate it. Oh, what's that? It's a tape recorder almost. See, like I put the button right there. You know, man, what's that? Gosh, you guys want to go? You guys want to go smell the different cheeses on Bourbon Street? I smell Parmesan when I put the car gum back in my mouth. I gotta play this game. Oh man, I'm sweating. I need to take this friggin'. It's all right. It's a good one. I think it's my old roommate's girlfriend's thing. It says geek, and it's like it's pretty cool. I think it's pretty cool. So. My mom's worried about me sometimes. She's thinks that I did things to get where I am sometimes, and I think that a lot of times I'm not. Maybe she doesn't. She doesn't think that I did things to get where I am. I guess to the knowledge that I really wanted to get to. And I studied most of the time. I studied my ass off. I studied a lot. I really looked at different sources and saw different things, and I want a wine bottle so I can throw it at someone. I'm not gonna throw any wine bottles at anyone. In this video game, that's what I was talking about. So, I mean, there are a lot of times where people just, I think I'm about, just, nothing or something like that, or yo, you don't want to go near Joe because he's got a bunch of stuff in his room and he smells it all the time, or something. You don't want to go near Joe because he's got underwear that he doesn't even wear. Where's the underwear? Who knows? It's probably everywhere. No, it's not. I got 2 shotguns and no friggin' sight. Awesome. It's probably, if you ever see Joe and he's got a beard, that means that he looks at women on his Instagram. Oh no. That he looks at bikinis, microkinis, all those things, because he doesn't just appreciate the fact that there's nipples on a woman because they're not the thing to play with. Oh my god, he looks at the whole woman. What an asshole. Terrible things that they've said about me, and I just want to diffuse those things. I want to say I am not a terrible person. I may have done some things. I may have pulled some pranks, and I may have done clearly just way too many energy drinks. But I'm going to tell you one thing, that I do believe in the heart of mankind, and he's one of my favorite wrestlers, and I feel like people should live a little, should live, love, and then get love, and then love, and then get diapers, because they don't have to buy those things. And I support a lot of different companies, not just about loves. But hey, you know what? Loves is the frickin' thing. They're just doing it biggie then. Big. When it in, when it done, squad da, and they're still trying to give me lap dances. All of them, all the game, and the hurt, and the love, and the respect, and the Joshes, the Davids, the ice freezies, and the JanSport backpacks. A lot of those are really good, and so believe in yourself when I say there's a wonderful day ahead, and it's gonna be great. It's gonna be so amazing and so awesome. So realize that people are real, okay? And why am I messing around? Why am I constantly saying a bunch of jokes that sometimes don't make any sense? Because they will make sense, because I saw a bunch of MCU spoilers. I saw a bunch of them. I saw a whole bunch of them. And I'm not telling anyone but I'm hinting clues at a bunch of different spoilers so people know that there's a bunch of different MCU spoilers in every one of my live streams. And I've done hundreds of these videos. A bunch of them. I am pretty much on the comic books, but I am so much about spoiling movies for people, because I love spoiling movies for people. So much so that they threatened to fire the Hulk, and they knew they weren't going to fire the Hulk because he's the Hulk, so it's fine. So many MCU spoilers. They're gonna bring Jesus back. And he's gonna give everyone a wine and cheese party. And they are all gonna play rowboat, who broke my rowboat? Shit. I got a freaking thing. Here we go. I'm doing this. Driving and thing with stuff and going towards the water. Hopefully I don't die. It's fun. This dude is shooting at me. Where's he at? Want him to stop so I can shoot him. Is there a dude over there? Huh. That's awesome, dude. This is so cool. Should have been firing at auto. It's alright. We can... There's nobody else you want. really cool. Mostly because I'm done with water. Like I'm tired of sweating all the time, and I'm really tired of gaining like extra water weight and having to actually like. It's really bad. I got stretch marks in Mississippi because of it, and it's like everyone's trying so hard to like act like it's still the best thing ever, and I like it. I really do. It like, and every once in a while is a good time. I want a summer home here, like so. As soon as I make it big or make something of myself, I'm going to Arizona most likely, or sometimes Nevada because I just kind of like to gamble, I guess sometimes, and I'm gonna be going to do that. That's gonna be my retirement from New Orleans. And nothing else. I'm not just going to be doing art because I really have goals and aspirations that are way more than that. And I really want to do like stuff that's a hobby, but I want to do trendy stuff and I want to do cool stuff and I want to do like obscure things and like I want to do abstract things. And, like it's just there's a lot of different things that I want to get into, and it's just. There's a platform for it, and this is awesome to me. And it's the reason why I thought that there wasn't that much of a community, but I mean, I've been getting kind of happier, and like it makes me feel happy. I realize that there are a lot of different therapy techniques, and that I learned from different people who are just like, hey, if it's not okay, just say it's okay until it's okay. Sometimes just like there's not great advice, but it's just like when it's all over, you can see what you saw, or you can see what you felt, or you can see what you had that an emotion, you know, and then realize that most of the time it's just something you didn't pay attention to, or something you didn't constantly see about because you thought that everything was that thing, but that thing was just, you know, it's just, I don't know, I think that most of the time people don't understand my intentions, or they don't understand where I come from or anything like that, or where I got to, or where I was living at, or anything like that. They just saw me basically being torn apart or something like that, and they didn't realize that it was just something that can't, I guess, be seen right now. I guess. So emotionally probably I am pretty torn apart, but physically and mentally I am pretty strong at taking emotions and turning them into something that I think is positive. And when I have the right medication, when I have the right stuff, and when my parents stop messing with me and telling me that I'm actually a billionaire, then no, really, seriously. And if they act like I'm not, and act like they've just got me married so they could actually like stop as much money as I was gonna make, as much money I want to make, because I want to make more money. I have billionaire aspirations, and I want to make a Fortune 500 company. I want to make a bunch of different stuff, and I want people to have faith in what I do, and I don't want people to constantly just question everything that I do. And I really do think that there are a lot of times when I felt like I was just on the edge of just screaming, but nothing else. I never wanted to hurt anyone. I never wanted to act like I was someone else that I wasn't, because there were other people insinuating that I was just somebody that was terrible, just so they didn't have to do things that actually they thought they could do, but they didn't know they could do it without me, or with anything, without my emotional support, or without my input, really. Because I hate it when people give me a job just because they feel sorry for me. I hate it. I absolutely hate it. I appreciate it. I really do. I appreciate the hell out of it. But you know what? All it does is make me look like a dumbass. And it makes me look like a dumbass when I tell people that it's a joke, or that's some kind of joke, and then everyone just thinks I'm fucking mentally disabled. I come up with jokes all the time, and somehow it just makes people think that somehow I'm fucking insane, and that's insane, dude, like that kind of stuff, or that's just like, it's really funny. That's what that means most of the time, but just don't take that literally. But my parents did take that literally, and that's why I'm on medication, and that's why my wife was worried about me, and that's why I separated with her, because I told her she was being insensitive, and I told the doctor that we needed to go to marriage counseling, and that was the last time I gave a shit about her. So that's basically how that ended. So, all right, have a good day, and be yourself. Don't be stupid. Don't hate people. Don't be bad. And it's an hour and 20 minutes. I'm over time. So you are your own one-person bomb squad. You can walk away anytime from a marriage if you don't think it's going to work out. If you have such little faith that something is actually going to work or something is actually not going to work, then make a decision. Don't just be on the fence. Don't be on the fence about it. Make a decision. Make a responsible decision. And don't just think that you can walk away from your problems, because I did, and it worked out for me, because I went to a hospital right after with heat exhaustion. So that was fun, but I'll say other things and also not hurt people or be bad. I'll do things that are great because I'm an amazing person. I'm awesome, and I'm going to kill these dudes that are AFK. It's funny. How many dudes are AFK? Yes! He's up there, though. Awesome. Let's see. Let's get a gun for this guy. Yeah. What? What's going on? What's happening? What's happening? Is he right there? Okay. How did he get a gun? He's still up there? Is he still up there? He didn't see him. You didn't see him. Ha! That's awesome. Woo! Oh, that's just... I shaved my armpits and then my hair didn't come back. Guess that's what you get, you know, when you're... It's terrible. It hurts my feelings, and a lot of people think I am what I'm not. But they'll understand two things, is that I have new friend suggestions, and also Darth Vader doesn't do that stuff anymore. He does not lift objects. He reads books, okay? He reads books, and he supports the dinosaur, what's that? It's called you didn't say the magic. That one. It's really funny. And don't step in shit. Don't ever step in poop. Alright? Because you never know what dinosaur dogs evolved from. Alright. Have a good day. And the more you stop paying attention to the animals that stuff happened, the more you like just get a little tidbit or a little kind of thing that you're not paying attention to, the more things make less sense. So that's like, it's not the more you see, the more you don't see or something. No, the more you don't pay attention to, the more you're not ready for when it turns into a virus, because that stuff is dead. Because life keeps going. All right. All right. Have a good day. And also, cheers to those who... This cup had a top on it. Yeah. It's been in my room for 2 days. Ah.